Positive employee relations are essential for building trust, boosting morale, and reducing turnover. When organizations treat workers fairly and address concerns openly, they create a stable and productive environment. Employee relations is the way a company builds and manages the connection between its workers and leaders, focusing on conflict resolution, fair treatment, and workplace culture. It acts as a specialized part of human resources to ensure a safe, respectful, and productive environment. Key focus areas of employee relations are conflict resolution, helping coworkers or managers solve disagreements and stop bullying or harassment. Policy and fairness, making sure company rules and laws are applied equally to everyone. Communication, keeping open lines so workers can share feedback and feel heard by leadership. And performance support, guiding workers through performance issues and helping them improve. Ultimately, employee relations is about achieving job satisfaction across the organization. Job satisfaction is a measure of an employee's contentment, fulfillment, and enjoyment of their work, encompassing both intrinsic factors such as nature of work and extrinsic factors like pay and work environment. Intrinsic satisfaction is the joy from the actual tasks, purpose, and challenge of the work. And extrinsic satisfaction is the contentment with external conditions like salary, co-workers, and bosses. One of the surest signs of deteriorating conditions in a company is low job satisfaction. Some factors affecting job satisfaction include meaningful work is a primary driver of job satisfaction, outranking pay, promotions, and basic working conditions in fostering long-term employee engagement, motivation, and overall well-being. It is a feeling that daily tasks have personal significance and contribute to a greater good. Compensation is also a top driver of job satisfaction, encompassing direct pay like base salary, indirect rewards like health benefits, and non-monetary perks that influence whether employees stay or leave. Management support is critical for job satisfaction, driven primarily by open communication, regular recognition, and professional growth opportunities. When leaders actively remove workplace barriers and show appreciation, employees feel valued and perform better. Work-life balance is a core driver of job satisfaction, mental well-being, and employee retention. Workers increasingly view protected personal time as more important than salary alone. Career development is connecting daily workplace contentment with long-term professional growth, skill building, and clear advancement paths. When companies provide paths to learn and grow, people feel more valued and motivated in their work. And autonomy is the freedom and control workers have over their schedules, tasks, and methods. It is a primary driver of higher job satisfaction, deeper engagement, and lower stress. Some methods for measuring job satisfaction within an organization are through turnover rates. Turnover is an issue at a level not seen before. Employees who are satisfied within their workplace tend to stay longer. New employees require more training and supervision. As such, it is important for you to focus on job satisfaction to minimize turnover. Absenteeism occurrences. Employees who are dissatisfied with their jobs are absent more often than satisfied ones. Among other things, this affects your overtime. It is the flight or fight response. If a person is significantly dissatisfied, that person can quit or take a rest. Employees' absenteeism may not be them faking either. Job stress may be making them more prone to sickness. Job performance levels is how well a worker does their assigned duties, measured by efficiency, task completion, and behavior quality. In environments of higher job satisfaction, better job performance is typically observed. And contextual performance refers to employee behaviors that shape the social and psychological environment of an organization, including volunteering for extra tasks, helping coworkers, and following rules. Unlike direct task output, these discretionary actions support the broader organizational culture and effectiveness. Leaders shape employee relations by driving trust, setting behavioral expectations, and managing daily conflict resolution. Good leadership fosters high engagement, clear communication, and low turnover, while poor leadership triggers cultural erosion, stress, and high attrition. A lot of research has been done on the leader-employee relationship and its relationship with job satisfaction. One of the most famous research projects was undertaken by Elton Mayo and a team of researchers at the Chicago Hawthorne plant of Western Electric in the 1930s. The study was initiated to measure the relationship between light intensity and worker output. Over a period of time, light intensity was raised and lowered, and researchers diagrammed the results. The results, however, were inconclusive. This gave the researchers an idea: perhaps, worker output was related to things other than the obvious. A series of experiments began. Light intensity was lowered, then raised, and lowered again, over and over, and the results were graphed. The researchers found that there was little variation in worker output. In fact, it went up steadily, regardless of the intensity of the changes in light. Ultimately, the researchers found that the workers were responding not to the variations in light but to the presence of the researchers. These significant others were important to the workers. Continuing research found that work output and, ultimately, job satisfaction was strongly influenced by worker-leader interaction. The whole social organization was found to be strongly linked to overall job satisfaction as perceived by workforce members. What does this mean to you? Essentially, it means that good employee relations have to be essential to you. And a good gauge of good employee relations is job satisfaction. Sociologists have determined that certain people at work are viewed as very important by others. Leaders fall into this category. Leaders are what is considered a significant other by their subordinates. Because leaders are significant, things like leadership style, how authority is exerted, and how they are interacted with matter. Along similar lines, in the early 1900s, a sociologist by the name of Charles Cooley came up with a theory regarding the degree of influence exerted by leaders on employees in the workplace. It is called the looking glass theory. This theory says that a person's self-identity grows out of interpersonal interactions and the perceptions of others, especially those who are important in their lives. Combining these thought processes, because a leader is a significant other to their employees, the leader's perception of them and how it is exhibited is important. And, since the leader is so important to them, employees will start thinking of themselves much as they think the leader thinks of them. Now that we understand the importance of the leader-subordinate relationship we need to delve into how a leader can affect job satisfaction. One of the most important ways to affect job satisfaction is to increase the meaning of the job for employees. Job enrichment and job enlargement are distinct strategies for enhancing job satisfaction and productivity. Job enrichment is a human resources strategy that increases employee motivation and satisfaction by enhancing a role with more meaningful, challenging tasks and greater autonomy. Key characteristics of job enrichment include increased autonomy, giving workers more control over how and when they do their daily work. Greater responsibility, often referred to as vertical loading, it is shifting tasks normally done by managers, like planning or decision-making, down to the employee. Skills variety and utilization, requiring a wider mix of talents and deeper problem-solving skills. Meaningful tasks, helping team members see how their daily work helps real people or reaches big goals. And direct feedback, providing clear, regular insight into performance so employees can track their own success. Job enlargement is the horizontal expansion of a job, increasing the number and variety of tasks an employee performs at the same organizational level. Examples are horizontal loading, expanding a job by adding related duties that sit at the exact same tier of organizational difficulty and hierarchy. Variety of tasks, introducing a wider mix of distinct actions to break up repetitive routines and lower boredom. Increased scope, adding more tasks and varied duties at the same level of difficulty and skill complexity. Skill utilization, including diverse tasks of similar complexity to reduce boredom, optimize existing abilities, and create a more well-rounded workforce. And redesign of workflow is the process of breaking down, reorganizing, and improving how tasks are done. Another important component of the leadership work-team employee relation equation is how power is realized and exerted. Workplace power is the ability to influence, engage, and motivate others, or to direct the actions of individuals and the course of events to achieve organizational goals. It is useful to know something about power and how it manifests itself in a leadership role. Each employee, management down to the line employees, exerts a form of power in the workplace. The types of power include: I have power over you to the extent that the organization gives me power over you. This is legitimate power. It is also called positional power. This is the formal authority a person holds due to their specific position, title, or role in an organization or society. Key examples include a company CEO, a police officer, and a school teacher. It works because people accept and respect the rules of the system. I have power over you to the extent that I know something that you do not. This is called expert power. It is a form of influence derived from possessing specialized knowledge, superior skills, or unique expertise that others lack. It relies on followers trusting and respecting that competence rather than a formal job title. I have power over you to the extent that I know or work with someone who has influence. This is called referent power. It is the ability to influence others based on their admiration, respect, and desire to emulate a leader's personal traits and charisma. It relies on personal connection rather than formal authority, titles, or fear of punishment. I have power over you to the extent that I can force you to do something. This is called coercive power. This is a form of social influence based on fear, intimidation, and the threat of punishment. Key aspects include forcing compliance, relying on negative consequences, and requiring constant monitoring. I have power over you to the extent that I can influence you to do something through my personality. This is called charismatic power. This is a form of personal influence rooted in a leader's exceptional charm, confidence, and ability to evoke strong emotions rather than formal rules or tradition. It allows individuals to inspire intense loyalty, motivate action, and drive social or organizational change. What is significant about power is not that it exists, but that it exists in so many forms. As just introduced, organizational leaders have several sources of power throughout a company. And as a result, those leaders have the opportunity and ability to improve employee relations and increase job satisfaction. Here are some tactics that can be utilized to accomplish this goal. 1. Build positive employee relationships from day one. A positive onboarding experience lays the groundwork for strong employee relationships. Welcoming new hires, communicating expectations clearly, and creating an open, supportive environment demonstrate that the organization values transparency, collaboration, and employee well-being. A strong first impression leads to higher engagement, increased retention, and greater job satisfaction. 2. Create clear workplace policies and procedures. Well-defined policies and procedures provide employees with clear expectations and consistent guidance. This clarity minimizes misunderstandings, promotes fairness, and helps prevent workplace conflicts. At the organizational level, clear processes support compliance, improve efficiency, and build trust across the workforce. 3. Foster a culture of transparency. Open and honest communication strengthens trust between employees and leadership. Keeping employees informed about organizational goals, decisions, and changes helps them feel valued, included, and confident in the direction of the company. Transparency also encourages accountability and creates a workplace where employees feel comfortable sharing ideas and concerns. 4. Invest in employee learning and development. Providing training and professional development opportunities demonstrates a commitment to employees' long-term success. When employees have opportunities to expand their skills and advance their careers, they are more motivated, engaged, and loyal. Organizations also benefit through stronger succession planning, improved performance, and higher retention. 5. Embrace and celebrate diversity. An inclusive workplace that values diverse perspectives creates a culture of respect, belonging, and collaboration. Employees perform at their best when they feel recognized and appreciated for their unique contributions. Organizations that prioritize diversity foster innovation, improve decision-making, reduce bias, and strengthen relationships between employees and leadership. 6. Recognize and reward employee contributions. Regular recognition reinforces positive performance and demonstrates appreciation for employees' efforts. While competitive pay and benefits remain important, acknowledging achievements, teamwork, and dedication helps build morale, increase motivation, and strengthen the employee-employer relationship. Consistent recognition also supports greater engagement and long-term retention. And 7. Promote work-life balance. Supporting work-life balance helps employees maintain their physical and mental well-being while reducing stress and burnout. Flexible policies and a healthy workplace culture improve productivity, job satisfaction, and employee loyalty. Organizations that prioritize work-life balance show they value employees as individuals, creating stronger relationships and a more committed workforce. And lastly, job satisfaction and the state of employee relations must be monitored, evaluated, and improved upon as part of continuous improvement efforts. An organization can measure it using anonymous surveys, standard rating scales, and behavioral metrics. Key approaches include quantitative questionnaires, employee net promoter scores, and regular direct check-ins. Examples include Likert scales. Employees rate statements from strongly disagree to strongly agree regarding pay, work tasks, and management. Instead of a simple yes or no, it shows how strongly a person agrees or disagrees with an idea. Standardized tools. Use established models like the Job Descriptive Index or the Job Satisfaction Survey to evaluate specific job facets. The Job Descriptive Index is one of the most widely used psychological instruments to measure an employee's job satisfaction. Rather than providing a single holistic score, the JDI uses a checklist format to evaluate satisfaction across 5 distinct facets of the work environment: the work itself, supervision, coworkers, pay, and opportunities for promotion. A job satisfaction survey is a tool used by employers to measure how happy workers are with their roles, management, and workplace. A well-known standard option is the 36-item job satisfaction survey created by Paul Spector. One-on-one employee satisfaction meetings are dedicated, recurring check-ins between a manager and a direct report focus on well-being, growth, and removing roadblocks. These sessions boost engagement, improve retention, and create a safe space for real-time feedback. And exit interviews, which are meetings or surveys conducted with a departing employee to understand their reasons for leaving, gather feedback on workplace culture, and handle administrative offboarding. Key benefits include identifying systemic management issues, improving staff retention, spotting workplace culture problems, reducing legal risks, and ensuring a positive final touchpoint that protects the company's reputation. For a leader, understanding employee relations principles is vital because it job satisfaction, trust, and clear lines of communication, which directly improves team performance and retention while proactively preventing costly conflicts. We hope you found this training video valuable. Please give us a like and click the subscribe button to access additional FSTG training videos.